Well, Johnson was not a mother when I first got here, but she still was a member of the church. But she still know not to come in here with that Alabama shirt on. She did it anyway. She came all the way from out there by the airport just to wear that shirt on me today. And sitting right in front. So I'm so glad I know my sermon well enough that I have to preach sometimes, probably with my eyes closed, so I can stay focused. There is a few things, y'all, that I just love, and I love University of Georgia football. I do. And that 24-41 just bothers me. So y'all know I'm trying to get my bearing, and it's harder and harder. God is still good. Everybody came in here with Alabama shirts this morning. So if you, Lord have mercy. There is a word, and we've been laboring in the book of Acts.
That's right.
And we are now in Acts chapter 5. Acts chapter 5. Acts chapter 5 verses 1 through 10. We talked about being in the church, but the church not in you.
All right.
Acts chapter 5 verses 1 through 10 give us that familiar story of Ananias and Sapphira.
That's right.
That was in the church, but the church was not in them.
That's right.
Sunday before last, we talked from Acts chapter 5 verses 11 through 16. And our subject was what you need to know about your trouble.
All right.
Acts chapter 5 verses 11 through 16, and we talked, and it's there what you need to know about your trouble. And I told you on Sunday before last that your trouble ought to phase you, or it ought to affect you. You shouldn't go through trouble and not be affected by it. Trouble ought to affect you. And then I told you that trouble has its time and its purpose.
All right.
But I also told you that trouble is not permanent. Everybody said trouble is not permanent. And then I told you that trouble itself, that God will be there with you in your trouble, and He will keep you through your trouble. You ought to shout off that. Is that whenever you have trouble, God will be there with you in your trouble, and He will carry you through your trouble.
That's right.
And then I told you on Sunday before last that just because you got trouble, it does not mean that your story is over.
That's right.
Yeah, you ought to lay your hand on yourself and say, my story is not over. My story is not over. I don't care if you're in high school. I don't care if you're on your way to college. I don't care if you're a single parent. You need to know that your story is not over.
That's right. That's right.
And then I ended with that when on the other side of trouble, I told you that you're going to be better, you're going to be bigger, and you're going to be blessed.
Come on now.
Well, I had to tell you all of that in order for us to keep present.
Amen.
Because on that Sunday, I talked about the what of your trouble. I said what you need to know about trouble. So this Sunday, I want to continue, but I want to talk about why trouble come your way. Why trouble come your way. You see, I've learned that whenever you got a what of anything, that you ought to have a why of that thing. Can I help you here? You go in your kitchen and you find water on your floor. That is your what. Because you got, what is this? I got water. That shouldn't be water. It's all over my floor. But let me tell you, you got to go outside, cut the water off from the street, and call your plumber so they can help you with your water. Anybody in here? So whenever you have a what, you ought to have a why. So when we look at this passage, it's here as to why they had trouble. And the reason why we need to stay right here for a little while is that, you know, sometimes trouble lasts all night.
That's right. Say that. All night.
See, scripture said joy come in the morning. That meant the trouble was there all night. Sometimes your trouble is not soon over. See, some of us think that trouble is just something going to be a hot second. I'll stop by here to tell you that sometimes you may have to sleep with and on your trouble. Yeah, sometimes your trouble may be there for a day or two. And I have to tell good church folks that because a lot of us, because we are under the blood, we don't think that we ought to have no trouble. Wish I could get some help. A lot of us as church folk think just because we are in Jesus and Jesus in us, and we got Holy Ghost. I don't know where they done got this new religion from them. I ain't supposed to have no trouble. I'm supposed to be rich. I'm supposed to have mercy. My bank account all the way. Man born of a woman. The book says full of trouble. Well, where y'all got that from? Trouble won't be there. See the thing about it? I know I'm under the blood. So when my trouble comes, it just gives me power through my trouble. You ought to write that down. Whenever you got trouble and you know you're a child of the King, that just gives you power in your trouble. It does not immune you from trouble. Write that down. It don't immune you from trouble.
That's right.
Yeah, you'll have trouble. And so, since you're going to have trouble, we need to look at our trouble. We need to look at what of it. And then we need to look at the why of it. And let me tell you, the first thing right here, that some of our trouble is earthly. It's a natural thing, and it comes out of man.
That's right.
See, the first thing about our trouble is that why some of us have trouble is that it simply is, and it's in the text, we have trouble because some folks just jealous. Y'all need to read this book. Some of us have trouble because of jealousy. Y'all still Well, you used another word, and it says they were filled with indignation.
Come on now.
But this translation just simply said, and they were filled with jealousy.
Like it is.
Make it plain.
Break it down. Yeah, all right.
Sometimes you have trouble
Folks don't like you.
just because folks are jealous.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And jealous a little on you.
Yeah. Little.
Come on.
You would not believe that you sitting in here and you think, Lord, what they jealous of me for?
Yeah.
But everybody in here got somebody that are jealous of you.
That's right.
Everybody. Even if you in school, somebody jealous of you.
That's right.
Well, y'all, let me help y'all. It wasn't with nobody here. One of my daughters at work came to me and was chaplain, guess what? And was mad. Because they found out that somebody else was getting food stamps. I'm going to say that again. Y'all ain't got that. Y'all ain't got that. Y'all really don't let that pass you by. One of my daughters came to me, chaplain, guess what?
Yeah.
And was just as mad because they had found out that somebody else working overtime, but they don't find a way, they move some children in or whatever, and they getting food stamps. And I'm sitting up here like, really? Baby, you upset because they getting food stamps? And I had to stop and say, do you remember a couple of weeks back they had to make you go and get some new uniform? I hope she's listening. You had to go and get some new uniform because when you work for the Department of Correction and if you are a female officer, they can regulate the way you dress. They can tell you your clothes are too tight.
That's right.
And God had been so good to her that her clothes had gotten too tight. She had to go and get new uniform, and you worried about somebody getting food stamps as much as you eat.
Too tight.
I need to move on, but I just want you to know from the text that the why of some of your trouble is that somebody is simply jealous. Look what the text says. The text says that in verse 16, it says, let me get it here. In addition, a multitude came together from the towns surrounding Jerusalem, bringing sick people and those who was tormented by unclean spirits. And they healed them all. Verse 16 says that they were jealous. Because when you get to verse 17, it says, and the high priest took action, and he called all of his assistants, and all of them came from the Sanhedrin, from the Sadducees, and was filled with jealousy.
That's
Are
right.
y'all walking?
That's right.
So when you look at this passage, they was jealous, first of all, because of the crowd that was coming.
All right. That's right.
It's in the text.
That's right.
They was not only jealous of the crowd that was coming, but they was jealous because when the crowd came from surrounding cities, that the men of God was able to lay hands on the sick.
That's right.
Jealous of the crowd. They were jealous of the fact that they were bringing sick. And they were jealous because the men of God was healing the they were jealous. Why were they jealous? First of all, they were jealous of a dead man. Even though he was not there, you got to go back and read part of chapter 4 and chapter 5. They were jealous of Jesus and his power. They were jealous of the message that the apostle was preaching. So they were jealous of Jesus. They were jealous of the resurrection. Because this particular group were the one that taught that there was no resurrection.
That's right.
The Sadducees did not believe in the resurrection.
That's right.
The Sadducees taught that there was no resurrection. And now you got Jesus with power, and you got these men with power, and now they done got jealous. And not only were they jealous of Jesus, who was not there, not only were they jealous of the resurrection having power, but now they are also jealous of the apostles.
That's right.
And they were jealous of the apostles because they've already said that these was unlearned men, uneducated men. You see, in order for them to be a part of the Sanhedrin, and in order for them to be a Sadducee, they had to be trained. They had to be learned. They had to be scholars. And now here, these unlearned men got folks coming from everywhere. And these unlearned, educated people, just fishermen, never been to school, and they laid hands on people, and they are being healed, every one of them, and now they are jealous. The why of your trouble is because somebody may be jealous.
That's right.
Yeah, I can stay right there. But not only was it because of jealousy, but the second thing that this text says to me, why we got trouble is because you are active and because you have taken action. You see, these men were about and doing something. These men had the favor of God.
That's right.
You see, sometimes when God gives you attention, and when people give you attention, people get jealous.
That's right.
I'm going to stop right there for you to write that down. Sometimes when God gives you attention, somebody is jealous of the attention that God is giving you.
That's right.
They don't want you to walk in faith.
That's right.
They don't want people to bless you and come to you. And sometimes that causes your enemies to be jealous. Just because somebody gave you a Coca-Cola in the break room. Because somebody gave you some attention and said, baby, you sure look good today. Hey, in here. Sometimes your action, your attention from God cause people to be jealous. Your activity. Oh, I wish I could just help you this out. Just because you're on the cheerleading team. Your activity causes people to be jealous. Because you're active. Somebody jealous because you came to church. You ain't got no business going out there. It got COVID. Baby, put your mask on. Put your gloves on. Your activity, your attention from God, and your attention to God cause other folks to be jealous. Well, y'all, I done gave you two. And you know, the good schools tell you ought to have 3 points and a point. Let me go on cause you to have trouble. Well, I stopped by here to tell you that another reason why you got trouble is that God has angels already for your case. That don't make no sense to you. You see, in order for you to have deliverance, you got to go through trouble. Are y'all with me? And see, God got angels in heaven. He got troubleshooters in heaven. Y'all ain't got that yet. And whatever your problem is, God has assigned a troubleshooter to your case. Read what the text says. They put him in prison. They beat him up. They incarcerated him. And at night time, God sent a troubleshooter. God sent an angel. You see, I stopped out here to tell you, God got heavenly troubleshooters. And these troubleshooters, their job is to get you out of trouble. God don't need the angels if you ain't got no work for them to do. Y'all ain't got that. And so, he got them just sitting up there waiting. All right, Daddy. And they in line. And they got your name on it. And they down like this saying, 1, 2, 3. I'm ready to go. And all he got to do is just motion his right. And they already dismissed from heaven. Well, as I close, I told you that it could be jealousy. I told you that it could be the fact that you're active. I told you that it could be your attention from God and attention from man.
That's right.
I told you it may be your activity that caused you to have trouble. But I also told you that God got angels already assigned to the case. I stopped by here to tell you on my way to heaven that when you got trouble, look at the person. God is just working on your testimony. Y'all ain't shouting yet. I'm going to tell you then. The conflict
Yeah.
and tell
Say
the people
it.
all
All
about
about.
this life. Working on your testimony.
Yeah.
Go tell the people all about this life.
All that.
Go and tell them, give them your message.
Your man.
You see, you got trouble because he trying to get you out.
Yeah.
He trying to get you up.
Yeah.
He trying to get you to go. He trying to get you to stand. And he trying to get somebody to tell. Just tell them how you got over.
Tell.
Tell them about your angel. And how he delivered you from life. And the text ends by saying, when they got out,
When they got out.
they did just what the law said.
Yeah.
And when they went there,
Yeah.
the high priest couldn't understand. Went back and sent somebody to the jail
Yeah.
to see whether or not they was in there. The guards was there,
Yeah.
but they was gone.
Here we go.
And the text ends by saying, and they was puzzled. God trying to puzzle your enemy. That's why you got trouble. Keep working on puzzling your enemy. Turn to somebody. Come on, stand to your feet and turn to somebody. Stretch your hand toward them and say, don't worry about your trouble. It could be because of jealousy. It could be because of the attention and the favor of both God and man. It could be that God is just trying to send you some angels.